But then Baron Replays is pretty good actually. It's pretty good software.
Yeah, because you can search for it, and I think you can, if you do videos yourself and stuff, you can just search for whatever you want, like template-wise.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so you start out, you're playing against an Aurelia and a Jarvan. What are your runes here?
What I'm going to do? I'm
your
just gonna...
runes.
Oh, my runes?
Yeah.
I got 60% attack speed. Let me check it up exactly, just to be more precise.
I think I can actually find the game. Is it the game where you play, you were 6-5, 16? It is, right?
Yeah,
Right,
it is. I don't recall him exactly. It's normally the runes I'm using on Kennen when I'm going top lane with him.
I actually have quite a lot of attack speed. I don't think you need that much, but it doesn't really matter too much.
16.1, right?
Yeah, I would recommend you using more armor actually, because in this game, if you look at it, you're against a Jarvan and an Aurelia. They both want to kill you. I would definitely go for more armor. Even just in blues, but armor would be fine. If you want to be really tanky, like you have two options, right? Either you go really tanky and you go for 16 to 19 armor, something like that, or you just go yellow and blues with armor, and that's okay as well. And then you keep the rest normal. But I go for a bit more armor because you're against an 80 jungle, 80 top, right? So you don't have the need for mag assist at all. And attack speed, you don't really need either in the blue ones.
I got them, like the thought went through my mind, but the thing is that if I use, like I have a rune page where I got 20 armor or 19.6 armor and 30 80, but then I got no attack speed, and I thought I wouldn't really want to remove my attack speed.
Yeah. Like you need a bit of attack speed. Basically, you need minimum 9% attack speed. You could have one armor quint. You can also just have full attack speed. That's both fine. But you want minimum 9% attack speed.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so
I'll keep that in mind.
So this is fine. If you play against Aurelia, you want to, like, how do you want to play this lane, basically?
If I could, I would probably try to punish her when she goes into last hit. My op walking is pretty shit. That's why I'm actually trying to go with Gnar. Because he's a ranged champion most of the time, or half of the time. And I think he's pretty good. But in the matchup here, I should probably, in my mind, I should win this easily. Because I'm able to poke her out of the lane and get lane control and be able to control the waves to my favor. With proper vision as well. But what I'm doing is that I'm poking just a tiny bit and pulling out the time really, instead of trying to abuse the fact that I'm ranged compared to her being melee.
So I think here you're already doing one big mistake. You're playing ranged versus melee champions. One thing, even in channel people or master or diamond, whatever, people make this mistake. You want to abuse the bush, right? Because if you hit her, you take creep aggro, you take a lot of damage on creeps. You don't want that. So you want to be close to the bush. You also don't want her to be able to go into the bush, be safe, go out from the bush last hit, and then go back into the bush, right? So you need to take the control on the top side, and then you need to be attacking her. You can easily attack and trade with her, it's no problem. You're playing it very passive here, which you don't need to do because you need to push her. If she starts pushing you, she can actually abuse you, and she'll be much stronger than you. So you need to be attacking her and fighting her and stuff. Alright, I just saw a pretty big mistake here. I'm just gonna go back to it. So you queue for the minions because you're playing very afraid for no reason at all. You don't need to be that afraid of her. She even skilled W, which is really bad. She should skill Q, which you don't really know, right? But you don't have to be afraid of her. Just go up and attack her, then last hit, and then attack her, right? You're being super afraid of her, which means basically you're losing 2 CS because you fuck up the boomerang. You should just be auto-attacking the CS. It's easy to get the CS. You don't need to boomerang there. The boomerang should be hitting her. And also, you're not really managing to do anything here in this laning phase, right? Because you're playing very afraid of her. Like, if you look at this entire time, you're playing afraid of her, and you're not really getting any hits in.
At the point where Greggy, he's coming up for a top gank at a point, and we get the kill on her. At that point, everything's changing, and I start being offensive. But until that point of the game, I'm actually playing very defensively compared to what I should be doing, even though I'm ranged.
Yeah, like, you don't need to play defensively. The only thing you need to do is make sure that the minion waves, you need to hit, because Jarvan is not the fastest jungler, right? He can't really gank you either if you play well. You need the third wave to go in here. So that's all you have to think about while pushing. So don't push too fast so that you get stuck up here. You don't want to be stuck all the way up here. You want to be stuck more like down here-ish. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Mm.
And then you want to be aggressive on her. You want to be hitting her at all times. She jumps on you. She doesn't have E, so you can just kill her here, I think, actually. If you just up walk all the time and hit her. You make a mistake here. How to say it? In the lane, what you want to do is... Getting CS is really important and everything, but if you can chunk the opponent really hard, the CS is not important anymore, right? Because if you chunk her hard, she can't get the next CS, and you get a CS advantage regardless, right? You're fighting her here. I think you should try and kill her. You're a bit too afraid. If I were you, I'd be walking upwards, because you will win this fight.
Okay.
But it's not that important, because she's jumping anyways. You should be killing her here. But instead, you're going for the CS. Like, you should be trying to fight her, even if you can't win this fight. She can't get back to you. She doesn't have Q anymore. It's in cooldown. You should not be afraid of her. This is the time where you need to trade with her, right? Because if you don't trade her back after she jumps you, she'll win every trade.
Oh, she will?
Yeah, she will win every trade. But you could hit her there, and you could probably even kill her here. Or burn her flash. You could burn her flash 100%. If you'd been hitting her, chased her, Q, you would burn her flash or kill. I think you would kill if you chased with flash as well. So you actually had pretty good kill.
That might actually be the fact. Ah, never mind.
But yeah, you had decent kill opportunity there.
Yeah, but it's gonna be there. I'm gonna get a kill in a moment, and she's gonna flash onto the tower, and she's gonna die to an auto, falling up under the turret, and she dies.
Alright, so right now you see Gragas is fighting the enemy jungler. I don't know if you noticed this. At this point,
I did. Yeah.
At this point, you have two choices. Either you go help, you hope mid laner goes help, or you just completely ignore it. Right? You have to go all in for one of them.
Yeah, but I chose to ignore it. He was so low on health, and he had no he had no spells up at that point. So I actually thought that Jarvan was gonna EQ and get the last hit and kill Greggy.
But personally, I would ignore it as well. But at that point, then you ignore it. You have different choices, right? Because if you ignore this fight, you're in a bad spot right now because the lane is slowly pushing to Aurelia. You need to either hard push it or slow push it as much as possible. I would say you should just go in here and just kill all these minions as fast as possible and just hammer it in and hammer the next wave in as well.
Yeah.
Because you need to get out of this position, right? So once this wave comes, like right now, you need to push as much as possible, no matter what. Like just be auto-attacking at all times. I see you're not auto-attacking much, you're kind of just walking around, slow pushing it. At this point, you really want to push it in on this wave.
Yeah. Because I've been watching like the last few coaching sessions you made, and I've been trying to adapt to the way that you keep telling people about the wave management and the wave controlling, about stacking up those two waves and shove it in on the third wave.
Yeah. Like this, the stacking was
what
good.
I'm trying to do, kinda. But yeah.
But the stacking was good. You just had to shove it in. That's basically it. You killed her. It's good. There's not really much to talk about there. Let's see. Your base. You buy. You buy decently defensive items. Personally, I'll just go for. First of all, well, how much gold do you have? Let me check.
I'm trying to get the page for Black Cleaver.
Yeah, I think here you do one mistake. You should go for a refillable potion instead of 2 health potions. It's of all more worth for you than 2 potions, right? So just buy that one.
True.
The other items are okay. There's nothing much there. It's just fine. Where you TP bottom?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Personally, I think TPing bottom as Gnar is not that good for a couple of reasons. First of all, Aurelia versus Gnar is a snowballing matchup. Whoever wins is gonna snowball it pretty hard. You don't have 6 yet. I would not even look for a TP here unless the opponents are like down here and like 20% health maybe. Then okay, if they're free kills, you take them, right? But you don't really want to make a TP play in a snowbally lane unless you get a kill. Like if you know you 100% get a kill, sure. But if you don't know if you get a kill, then just don't make
I think I was and then I think as well, I was a tiny bit too fast on the TP. I think that if I waited for approximately 5 seconds more, they would be further down the lane as well, and we would actually be able to get both of them.
Maybe, but even then, right? Like, you need to know you can get this kill if you're TPing, especially in this lane. And you don't have any CC or anything. So, imagine they go a bit further down, they still have flashes and stuff, right? The only way you can kill here is if Blitzcrank cooks. That's the only way you kill.
And he does. He actually gets it on Jarvan.
Yeah. Like, this kill is still... It's good for you guys, but they could have survived it. and it should never be happening. I think I don't think it should TP here because of the laning phase and new champions.
Yeah, because of the Aurelia and Nara matchup.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't have any CC or anything in the TP, right? Like if you're playing Nautilus versus Malphite or something, right? Like whatever. Then sure you can TP down there because it doesn't actually matter if you're behind. Alright, you guys go here. That's fine. You're doing it well. You're walking a bit too close there, but it doesn't actually matter. Your E is wasted as well. Doesn't matter either, but you don't need to use it there. Basically, you just stand next to her and just auto attack her. Like just a little out of auto attack range and just auto attack her down. So you can never run to the flash.
Yeah.
That's mechanically, so I can't really tell you to be better mechanically, but
yeah,
it can be a little smoother.
True.
Right,
then again, many of the champions in the top lane is pretty new to me, so but we'll get there slowly.
So what's your plan at this point with this wave?
The plan is actually that I wanted to hard push it. I'm pretty sure that I'm actually gonna wait one more wave. Yeah, I'm gonna stack up one more wave, just chilling out, and then I'm gonna hard shove it.
So basically at this point, you know she doesn't have TP. You know she's dead. At this point, also, you can look at the death timers and you'll know how long it takes for her to be back to lane, right? So the second she spawns, it's going to take 30 seconds if you got no boots, 27 if you got boots, so just 27 seconds. Because you don't know what she buys, right? So always 27 seconds. That means if you shove this wave, she won't be under the tower in time to get XP and she'll lose a lot of XP. The fact that you slow push this one means that she'll get all of this XP, or most of it at least, right?
Yeah.
And you don't actually get anything out of this.
True.
And then
that makes sense.
You end up pushing anyways, but it should just have been harder, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I should have been pushing it way harder.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Also another thing. Because you didn't push it hard, you get into this awkward situation where the wave hits right on the tower, and you kind of feel like you want to stay to kill the next wave. Where instead,
exactly.
You don't want to be here right now, because Aurelia comes back, you're out of Meganar, the enemy jungler, you don't see him, he could be coming top. You need to get wards down before you even touch this wave, basically. So you need to be having a ward here, minimum. You have this from the mid lane, so this ward is perfect. He can still jump over here and gank you, but it's very unlikely, or jump over somewhere. So basically just ward here, and then you can stay top and go back and farm, right? But doing Cloud Vision is very greedy, and you don't get anything extra out of being greedy there, you know?
No, I'm not.
When you fight her, it's okay. Alright, you're fighting her, you actually end up losing this. Let's look at this entire fight thing. What
I'm
you
almost getting out of that. Like, I'm so close.
Alright, so what you want to do in these situations is, first of all, you're in this situation, you should be not walking so close to her. You're focusing too hard on the CS. A lot of the time. You don't need to focus so hard on the CS there.
I just had a feeling that even though I know I'm up on kills and overall gold, I'm ahead. But then again, if you compare the CS, I'm normally way up.
Yeah.
I would like, normally I would be on at least 55 CS at this current point in the game. And I'm feeling like I'm falling behind, even though I know that I'm up on 2 kills. So my overall gold is way up.
I think one thing you should do is you shouldn't care about how much gold you have, how far ahead you are, or how far behind you are. The only thing you should care about is you're level 6, she's level 5. You have, what's it called? Dawn Shield, Ruby Crystal, and a Longsword. She got a Fate and a Crippling Potion. That's all what matters, right? Nothing else really matters. So at this point, what you should be doing here, in this exact situation, is every time she goes for CS, you hit her and you Q her. And then you hit her again if you can. But you don't want to take tower aggro ever, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to go for the CS.
Just to proc the W.
Problem you do here is you Q for the CS, which is bad. She jumps in, so it's lucky you actually get her as well. But you don't want to use your abilities on the CS. You want to use them mainly on her, in most cases. At this point, you're going for CS as well. You should be hitting her instantly. She shouldn't be allowed to stun you either from a creep. You're standing too close to it. And then you should be out trading her here because she's not 6 yet. You would actually win this if you had played it a bit better, right? Another thing you make is you walk too far away from her. Then she stops going on you. You should be hitting her backwards, right? You should getting a hit in, a Q in, and another hit. You can easily get those 3 in. If you get that, she's going to lose this trade as well. But again, you're focusing on the CS, if that makes sense, right? So generally get better at not going for CS. Because you don't actually need those. The CS should be free most of the time, then you take them. Alright, you guys actually get kills, that's decent. Let's see what you buy. Other items are fine. You have ping ward again. Pretty good wards, that's fine. Everything's good here. What's your plan with
the thing is that this point in time, I'm actually pretty goddamn boosted. I just put up the ward and the vision to get the control, even though I want to shove in the lanes. I want to get some control. I want to kill her, get some kill potential, or even try to at least get down the tower. And I forget about the vision that I just put up. And it ends out being Jarvan coming into my lane, and I'm getting killed within the next half a minute.
So basically, you need to, like, if you play now, especially in this match, it's really important you get really good at the orb walking. You need to think what's gonna happen when she does this play, right? She's gonna jump you here, and that's fine for you. It's completely fine. What you want to do is you want to Q auto, which you do, and then you want to. She's gonna be slowed, right, from the Q. She's gonna have a movement speed slowed, so you want to be moving just outside of her attack range and keep hitting her. You should be able to get 3 hits in on her here. You walk too far away, it's just orb walking basically, which is going wrong for you. You should have gotten 3 hits in there, and if you did that, you would actually win the trade. But now you're actually only even. It's something really important, and you can't be too afraid of her. Then Jarvan is coming up.
And I'm dying. I'm not even looking at my minimap at this point in time, really. And that's actually the worst part, because that's normally nothing. That's not an issue normally. When I put up my vision, I put way more time on my minimap than I do on the actual play on the screen. And when I know that the vision is about to run out, I start playing defensively. So it's kind of like 2 different modes I have. Like when I got the vision up, I play aggressive, and when I don't, I'm kind of like tower hawking.
I think the main problem isn't necessarily that you don't see him. Obviously, you're not seeing him is a problem. The main problem is your thought process doing this entire thing, right? Because what do you want to do here with the waves?
I want to shove it in as fast as possible. I want to get the tower. I want to put some pressure onto the lane.
Right.
I want to start roaming. I know that our Graggy is kind of fed, or he's pretty good ahead. He has a good lead, and the same do I, or as do I, and our bot lane does as well. So I want to try end my lane and then start roaming to other lanes to get some more pressure on mid lane. At this point, that's what I had in mind. That's what I wanted to do.
I would say at this point, like exactly right now, the problem is you lost the trade earlier because you didn't get the last auto tag in. Because of that, you're kind of low health. She's kind of low health. She likes that situation because it's much easier for her to kill you and gank you, right, than it is for you to gank her. And also, she have a massive wave coming up. She got a big wave coming up. It's stacking up right here. You won't be able to push this in anymore. So you have to actually think about it this way. You're going to let her push all the way to your tower, and then you'll re-push her at this point, right?
Okay.
So you want to be passive, and you want to be like, okay, she's going to go and try and kill me. That's her objective, and your objective is to not die and just get as many CS as you can. And at this point, it's okay to farm the Q. Because you want to be safe, right? You don't want to fight her at all, so it's fine to use your abilities on farming. You get a really nice Q on her, that's fine. But the only 2 things you need to do in this position where she's pushing you is making sure you're staying alive, trying to farm the Qs or abilities from far away, and looking at the minimap. So you don't actually have to look at the lane most of the time. Because right now, for example, she can't catch you. She's not going to go on you. You don't have to look at all here. You have to just look down here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And also, I would suggest you walk even further back. As long as your creep isn't dying, you don't need to be in range of it. So after queuing her there, you should walk down here. All the way down here.
Okay.
Because you don't need to be in her face, right? You just want to farm the Q, wait till she pushes in, and then you'll be fine.
True. That makes sense. Totally sense.
And then even if Jarvan comes, let's say you miss him, right? Let's say you miss him because of whatever. They won't be able to kill you.
No, I'm gonna die. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so this. Wait, let's watch this again.
No, you don't have to replay it once more. You've been watching it once already. That's fine by me.
Let's watch this again.
And like I said, I have no idea that Jarvan is here. I just know that I'm about to get into Bignor, and I want to catch her, or at least get a summon off her.
Yeah.
And then at this point in time, I notice that Jarvan is here, and I get kind of frustrated that I'm actually not gonna catch Aurelia, and then somehow I end up being, I don't know, headbutting my keyboard. I don't know, something.
Basically, the main problem here isn't even that you don't see Jarvan. That's a problem. But the main problem is you don't know that you have flash up. You need to know you have got flash up, and the second you know that, you know you don't want to go for this play because of course he's gonna flash your ability, right?
Yeah, of course.
At this point, if you wanted to kill her here, right? How you're gonna engage this fight is by using W instead of Q. You don't want to use the Q here because you want to stun her. If she's stunned, she's dead. Because then you're gonna know into the wall, you're gonna Q her, and she'll die, right? So what you do is you W here, you W towards this way minion as well, because she might jump on it. Up here, which forces her flash. And once she uses her flash, you just back off. You're happy. You won the trade, right? The problem is you Q first. Now you can't catch her, so now you need to jump towards her. And then you need to W, which you miss. It doesn't matter if you miss it or not, right? And then your ultimate as well.
Yeah, exactly.
The main problem is your ability uses there, right? Because you need to use W first there, then you're catching somebody. And Q is more for poking, and then backing off, right?
I would probably also be able to position myself a bit better if I actually went off with the W first to get the stun on, and I could maybe throw her into the wall instead with the ult.
Yeah, sure. Like basically, if you W first, if you stun her, she's dead. If you don't stun her, you just back off. She wasted flash, right? Because the only way you don't stun her is if she flashes, unless you just miss it. And if you miss it, you back off as well, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And then you have your E backward, you have your flash, and Jarvan won't even catch you, I think.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Let's see what you buy. That's fine.
Going for a page and some vision as well.
So
just to make sure.
So what's your goal right here with the wave?
I can see I'm trying to freeze it to get some wave control. I have no idea where Aurelia is. I suggest that she returned, like she recalled, to get some items. Now that she got a kill in the lane as well. And Jarvan is probably in his blue side at this point, or that's what I have in mind.
I would say right now you need to slow push this, but you need to push it because Aurelia wants to make plays on the map, right? If you freeze this, he wants to make plays on the map, and you don't get anything out of it. So what you want to aim to do is push this slowly, keep this wave here. Next one, you start pushing a little harder. You get it till up here something, and then the third wave, or the one after this one, you hammer into the tower, right?
Yeah.
Because then you create more pressure on her, while not really pushing too hard as well.
I'm just afraid to start pushing hard, because it's only an idea that I have that she actually decided to recall, but I have no confirm on it. So she could actually be in the bush, which I'm pretty sure ends up being the case. I don't recall it totally, but I'm pretty sure she's up in the bush right on the top of the first low minion.
I think here it doesn't matter if she's in the bush or not, right? All you want to do is this one you slow push, the next one you hard push. It doesn't matter if she's on your lane because she won't be able to do anything to you if you play it right. You have flash, you have big form, you have whatever. Even if you don't have big form, you should be fine. This wave you want to start hard pushing. She's even still here. You still want to push it in.
Yeah.
One thing you can do right here is you can tell your jungler you want to dive her because you have a really big wave coming up. If you want to dive her, you want to slow push. If you don't want to dive her, you want to hard push, basically. Because then you can go.
Can you say that once again? Let's try to say that again.
You can tell your jungler because she's nearby that you want to dive because she's stacking up a wave here. If you want to dive her, you want to slow push this wave into a tower because then you dive the next wave as well, making it even bigger. If you don't want to dive her, I'll just push this one in and boom down, take the crab, get some vision, do something on the map, right? While the wave is in her tower.
Okay, yeah. I just need to confirm on that I heard the right thing. But yeah. But that makes sense. Even though if you want to dive her and she starts doing damage to you, the minions start swapping towards her and she receives more damage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Why did you walk down here? Like, this entire walking is really weird to me.
What, where?
Right now.
I noticed that the pings from blue side, and I thought someone was in there, so I wanted to be ready if they needed my support, really. So that's all there was to it. And then I noticed nothing's gonna happen, and I decided to go back in the lane again.
I would say, well, that play is bad because you don't, like, you need to know something's happening before you do it, because you lost 2 minions for this.
Okay.
So you don't want that to happen. You basically just want to focus on the lane first of all, and then second of all, you go somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys are slow pushing this. Greg's is coming up as well. she's going in on you, which is really bad. But you do one mistake too. You know Grax is coming. You know you want to dive her. At this point, you want to hard push this wave. Like you want to just go up and just hit the minions as much as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of walking around doing random stuff, like just walking around doing nothing, where you want to hard push it in. Then luckily she jumps you, and she should be dead here, I assume. Like you're just gonna auto attack her, Q her and stuff, and then walk around. Yeah, this is good. This is fine. You should be able to survive this as well. I don't see you dying.
I'm not. I'm surviving as well.
So all of this is good, but you need to what's it called, be pushing that wave. And if she jumps in anyways, then you still kill her, right?
Yeah.
Basically, you get all the same, but it could just have been cleaner from your side.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so you get the tower. You push the next wave as well, I assume. Okay, you guys should be pushing this wave. You should tell Gragas to stay and push. You don't want the wave to be here and frozen towards her, because she's just gonna get XP, and you're gonna lose out, right? You're not really gaining anything here. And now you're in a bad position.
Yeah. I almost die by it, really. It's pretty bad. Because I'm actually gonna be just a little bit greedy, and I want to poke her out just to see how she's gonna react to it. And it ends out me being able to use my E on the golems just to escape. Otherwise, I would actually die.
So one thing to note is you need to be much more decisive, right? Like basically, right here, you have two choices: either you push this in or you back. You're doing the third choice, which you don't have, right? You're walking into them, jungle, doing nothing. You can't do anything here. Then you're walking back to the lane alone. You can't push it now. And then you're in a dangerous position, right? Imagine Jarvan is up here as well. It comes up here through this path. You're dead. It really goes to you alone, plays it really well. You may be dead as well, or you're just gonna be low. You're not gonna get anything out of being here, right?
Nope.
The only thing you're doing is putting yourself in a dangerous position. You survive, that's okay. This ward was not worth it, but it's not a big deal.
I just wanted to make sure that I didn't get a surprise from the rat camp. I didn't at this point in time. I didn't have my eyes on my minimap, so I actually didn't notice that Jarvan was actually on the bottom or in his blue side jungle. So I just wanted to make sure that I didn't get a surprise from the wraths. That's it, pretty much.
Why do you walk bottom here?
I want to get the bottom third, really.
I think at this point right now you need to make a decision even before you go bottom, right? You need to if you want to go bottom, then you need to do it differently first of all.
Okay, differently.
Yeah, because if you look at this right now, mid, there's nobody mid. Nobody's putting pressure mid. There's a team fight over here, so what you want to do is you want to walk mid side in towards this. Because then you have the option of going mid, you can go bottom, and you can also go towards top because you're closer to it, right? By going straight bottom, you're putting yourself really far away from everything, instead of being really close to everything, right? Which is overall bad. I would personally just go top here. I don't think you need to go bottom. They already won the fight anyways. But you're in a position because you walk bottom that you
I just know that I'm... Yeah, I just know that I'm not... Or at least I don't think I'm going to be able to one-on-one the Aurelia. So that's why I'm actually thinking about going bot lane so that we can secure one objective at least, now that I know the whole team is down there.
Yeah.
I would not be able to do anything top lane because I have no idea where Aurelia is at this point. But if she decides to stay top, I have a few...
I think if you...
to one-on-one her. So I think, where do I get something out of it? And I do it by going bot lane with my team.
I think here...
And we split up.
You can go top because there's a lot of CS as well. If you go top, that's fine. If you want to go to the team, that's also okay, but you need to go through mid, through this path. Because then you can still go top, right? There's still a massive wave up here that you want to get. I don't know if you guys lose this wave now or not. You guys might just be taking bot tower instead. But you just
get the bot tower.
Yeah, so that's nice, right? But I think the enemy team, if they play this well, they should be able to defend this. They're having two people defending mids where Lulu doesn't need to be mid, and Nivea can easily defend alone. They're basically just fucking up, right? And you could do this exact same thing by going this path. Everything would be the same by going that path. You'd just have more options. Alright, so you guys fight here. I'm not really a fan of this fight because you guys should have a lot of gold, right? Yeah, so basically, you guys get objectives. The enemy team just based. They died or they're based and they're close to their base, right? So if you look at the gold difference in the team, you guys are really far ahead, which is nice. But you have all your gold on you and not in items. So if you actually fight here, you're not at a big advantage, and it's gonna be even. While you're being ahead, you don't want even fights, because if you lose that fight, maybe they can come back. If you don't take this fight, you will win regardless. If you win this fight, it's not gonna have a big effect.
True.
So it's basically just taking a fight that's really unnecessary. You kill one, you catch one, it's good. You go mid, you take the tower, okay, they just all get caught Clown Fiesta a bit, and that's
Yeah,
all
kind
fine.
of a bit, yeah.
But you could have done all of this while all of you guys having more items, right? Because you guys have a 10k gold lead after killing these kills, and you have 1, 4, 6, 8, 10k gold in inventory, right? Which is like ridiculously much. You'll almost never see any really high players fight with this much gold. Or like
This might actually be a pretty big problem to me, because I normally only back when I got at least 1500 at least. I'm starting to get used to going back when I'm able to get something which I can use, or an upgrade, finish out an item, and the situation is right for it. But normally I'm only going back when I have at least 1500, and I can even decide to first go back when I even got 3,000 or 3.5, maybe even 4,000. If I'm able to stay in the lane and keep getting an income and keep winning my matchups, I would just stay in the lane, really.
I think you need to think about your back timings in more regards of how much do you lose for basing instead of how much do you gain by basing, right? So let's say you have you're playing a really good 24s. You want that 24 as fast as possible, right? But you're not gonna instantly base the second you have the gold for it, because you might lose something in the lane. So you want to set up the lane so you lose as little as possible whenever you're basing.
Of course.
And it doesn't actually matter if you base and you get like a 500 gold item, right? It's still fine if you lose nothing for it. There's a lot of situations where you can lose absolutely nothing for basing, and you just buy a really tiny item, like 2 small items. And those situations are also good. And regarding fighting, you should always fight whenever you know you're stronger and have advantages, right? Alright, so let's look what you do now. You go top, you have a decent amount of gold. Going top here is fine though. You do end up pushing this a bit too fast, I think.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
And the reason for that is, like, why do you think I'm pushing it too fast?
I think you're pushing it too fast because, in my opinion here, either you push this wave in your base instantly, and then it doesn't matter how fast you push it, or you want to push the next wave into the enemy tower. But since you're low health, I don't even think it matters if you push it into the enemy tower. I think what you should do is push it slow here, as slow as possible, and then just make a massive wave and then push the next one in. But you end up pushing half fast, not really slow, like basically just in the middle. And then you're close to the enemy tower now, and you're pushing this one, and she can actually go on you here. And your Gregs you have further to your tower now, right? Because you're low health, you don't really want to fight her, you have a lot of gold. There's not a situation where you want to fight. I think the second you see Aurelia here, if you're afraid of her, you just base, or else you push it in. Gregs is coming up, so that's fine.
And here's the point where, it's gonna be a little clowny. I actually think that Greggy, he wants to keep engaging when he does that, and I actually decide to, okay, I want to go in on that, and then he pulls out and goes into the bush. And I'm all alone. I'm just stuck under the turret, and I end up dying. But then again, I shouldn't have been. If I need to look at it as we watching right now, I would probably say that I should never even think about doing that engage, because I have no idea that Jarvan is in the background, and somebody else could have been there as well. So they could actually maybe even have turned the whole fight, just in case. I
think there's 2 things to look at here. First of all, the mini wave control could be better. Right here, you stacked up the waves. This wave just arrived now, so you cannot shove it into the enemy tower. You won't be able to shove anymore, right?
Yeah.
What you want to do here is, because you're 3 people topside, you want to slow push this one as well, and then you want to use the next one. What you end up doing instead, you push this one hard, then the waves will be hitting right here, ish, which is not really what you want. You want to be hitting further up so you can stack a bigger wave if you want to do anything with this tower.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Regarding the entire fight here, the problem isn't about Greg, you think Greg keeps going or anything like that. It doesn't actually matter if he keeps going. The problem is your champion, is not a champion where you want to jump in unless you have big form. Unless you're catching somebody, which you're not doing right now, right? You're engaging a fight by jumping in. Which you don't want to do. You want to kind of always stay backwards, right? There's never a reason to E in here.
Nope. And I didn't want to, but I thought that Greggy was going to stay on the tower because he was pretty healthy and has a good amount of 80 items, or not 80, armor items. So I thought that, okay, he's able to sustain a few tower hits so that we might be able to secure the kill. But then he decides to pull out, and that happens at the exact same time that I decide to use my E. And then I'm just caught under the tower, and there's nothing I can do.
But I think here, if you want to fight this, let's say he's staying, and you want to fight this, right? You want to kill Aurelia. What you want to do is you want to just walk up, Q her, and auto attack her. You don't ever want to use your E, no matter what.
Okay.
Like
okay.
Basically,
so you just want to use it to secure, or not secure, because secure a getaway.
Basically, you save E to have a getaway or to engage, right? But you can't engage if you're small form. Or you can also use it to catch people, but you're not catching either because he's like half health, right?
Yeah.
So you're basically just using the ability wrong. This is something you have to think about. So Greg is there as well. Fine, what do you buy? You have items. You have 2 pink ones, that's fine as well. So far your items and everything is good. Against Aurelia, because she can catch you, I would actually suggest you going Frozen Mallet first item. Unless you're winning. If you're winning the matchup, you can go Cleaver, you do more damage, you're stronger. But Frozen Mallet, you can abuse so much harder if you're not winning necessarily, if you're somewhat even, which you are right now.
Yeah, okay, because I'm getting the Frozen Mallet as a 3rd item.
Yeah. Like, it's basically the same build, it's just different times to buy them, right? Cleaver is good against things that you can chunk all the time, and that can't hit back. But it really can just hit back on you, right? So it's more dangerous.
True.
Alright, so let's see what you do now.
That might actually help me being able to prac a lot on the up walking as well, even though I might be able to use the skull.
Yeah.
Crap that, but with having the Frozen Mallet, I might be able to keep having the distance between me and her. And my lane would probably be more safe compared to me having the Black Cleaver.
What's your idea here with this wave? Because the enemy team just did Dragon, right? You know they're not going to be top for at least another good 15 seconds. But you just push this one hard and then you base. Why don't you get the next one in as well?
To be honest, I don't know.
Okay. That's fine. I think you should be getting the next one in as well. Also, you have to remember, you took the Herald earlier. You need to use it very soon. Like,
yeah, and I actually tried to find a good situation to use it in. But so far, I didn't really see a point in the game where it would be like really good to use, where it would fit in. I didn't want to waste it.
I think one point you could have used it, if you remember, if you stacked the wave up here top, then you dove. You could have used it up top instead and on this tower. That would have been a really good situation. You go mid here and use the Herald. You're doing the right thing. Everything's good here, decision wise. You hit Anivia is good as well. Missing the Q, that sucks, but hitting her is good. You do make one crucial mistake is whenever you're making this fight, you have to think about what can they do to you, right? Always. So basically, Aurelia's full health. The only way she can stun you is if she walks up to you, or you walk up to her, right? So you don't want to get into melee range of her. Jarvan, most likely not going to go on you. You don't really have to mind too much because you have flash. You will be fine regardless. So all you have to do is chunk Anivia and don't get stunned by Aurelia. That's all you have to do, right? You all walk into Aurelia because you focus too hard on the Anivia, where you actually need to look at the Aurelia as well. And then you get stunned, which is a problem, right, mechanically. You need to make sure you don't get stunned there. You guys get into a good fight, you win it. You can flash ulti here, right now.
I'm not gonna flash it. I'm gonna E it.
Woo! So basically,
the winning ult.
Basically, the big thing here is that you get 3 people. The 2 are dead. You have 3 people you can catch instantly. Just flash ulti them, because if you E, you might not get all of them. If they have flashes or whatever, they can get out, right? So just instant flash ulti. Eating it, you might still get all of them, but they could survive this, right? Jarvan could have gone away for sure. Aurelia could have jumped to a minion or whatever, jumped to the Herald. So flashing is just better, because winning that fight is worth a flash, right?
Okay, yeah.
Let's see. You push, you get in here, that's good. Base, that's fine, everything's fine. What do you want to do at this point in the game?
I'm pretty sure I decided to group up.
I would say grouping is fine, because at this point, you know Aurelia is stronger than you, because you don't have Frozen Mallet. If you had Frozen Mallet, you'd be stronger. So grouping is fine, and you know that you're stronger than Aurelia in a team fight. If you group, you want to be more with the team though, and if you ever go up here to push mid wave, you want to stand safe while doing it, right? You don't ever want somebody to be able to get to you, which you're letting happen right now. Like, Aurelia can get right to you. She doesn't stun you, but that's a bit more lucky. I think it's not something you planned.
Oh, I totally knew it.
Yeah, I think that's more lucky, and they could actually kill you. If she stuns you there, they can kill you with the Lulu ulti and everything. Maybe you have to burn a flash and maybe get away, but. You don't want to be in that situation.
Yeah, but I have to use the summoner.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that situation in the first place.
Yeah.
So basically, you push, you get in here, that's good. Alright, so now you're going top. So you guys splitting up. Your only objectives right now is top tower, I think, or Baron. You can't really get anything else, so you push it in. That's fine. Everything's good.
I would say that the game in the long term, we could have ended the game earlier than, like, we are pulling out the game way too much, in my opinion. When we won the fight in the mid lane, I think that we could have been able to not win the game or end it, but I think we could have been able to get some more out of our current advantage at that point.
Yeah, maybe. I think here you do a small mistake. It's better for you to just stun him into the wall. You're throwing him backwards, but you can just hammer him into the wall, and then he's going to be stunned as well.
I actually thought that he would end in the wall, to be honest.
Okay, in that case you had the right decision making. Mechanically it doesn't really matter, because that you'll improve on over more games, you know. Are you good hit? That's fine, you're backing off, it's fine. I think here your team just needs to learn to base. You should even just ding ping them, tell them to base, because they're not really going to get anything with two people being really low. You should be running up. You're looking for the dragon, that's good. Getting the dragon is really good. You guys are taking that, that's fine. And then I shoot people up. Okay. Basically your team just needs to base here. They're doing the wrong thing, staying around. I don't know why they're staying around. They win a fight regardless. This shouldn't even be happening. And what you want to do here is you want to go bottom, push it out. You can easily push bottom alone. Just keep it pushed in while having wards in the jungle. And then you want to rotate to a team afterwards. You don't want to try to 1v1 Aurelia. You don't need to fight her ever. You just need to push the wave in. If you look right now, bottom is pushing to you. You want it to be the opposite. So basically just go down and clean this quickly.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, you group with the team, as you're doing right now. Basically, this would be the exact same scenario with Fizz not going bottom because you would already have pushed it. Fizz would be with the team, and you'd probably be around here. And then you guys would be going for the Navy, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You would probably have killed her because Fizz would kill her much faster. The entire fight here is bad because Fizz is bottom. You cannot take this fight.
Nope.
The second you see Fizz
actually
bottom,
got a bit greedy there.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. I don't even see why though. Let me put it in that way. I don't see the reason why they are 5 or 4 man just on the other side of the red camp. I don't see the reason for that. We're hard shoving in mid lane, or it's pushing in at least, but they're not defending it. Aurelia was in the mid lane as the only one, but there are 4 people above the red camp. Why?
So basically right here, what you have to think about is Fizz is bottom. That's one guy in your team gone. S is not there. There's 2 guys gone, right? Irelia's mid, cleaning mid already. They don't need more than 1 mid. They don't need that. They don't have anybody top. The only place the enemy team could be is actually in this entire area up here, in the dark area. So going for a fight while you're 3 versus X is not good because you're ahead of them. You don't need to take a fight 3 versus X because you don't know how many X is. And they could easily be, they can be 3, they can be 4, they can be 5, you have no idea. So at this point,
so that's more to be ready for the Baron?
Yeah, they could even be preparing for maybe you guys doing Baron, maybe like whatever. They don't know where you are either, right? So you're going into a fight where you don't know how many there are while being ahead, which you never want to do. You want to just take the fights where you know you're stronger.
Yeah, of course.
Unless you make a really good catch. Right, so
there's no reason to put myself in a bad spot.
Yeah, exactly.
A bad situation on purpose, at least. There's no
exactly. Like basically, just on purpose, put yourself in a bad situation. Alright, so let's see. We get in here, we get tower. This is good. You guys backing off. That's fine as well. At this point, you used your TP to get back. That's okay. I think it's not really bad. Your only goal here is to run, though. Maybe if you can help Gragas, that's nice, but just stay safe and help him on from a distance. If he dies, it's his fault. That's fine. You're saving. At this point, do you guys want to... Oh, you go in again?
Yeah, we decide to... Yeah, turn.
What do you want to do in the game right now?
Right now, I want to push in the bot lane. Okay, I know that we're able to get Jarvan, and the only way he's probably going to be able to escape is by using some kind of a summoner. like the EQ flash at least.
Let's put it here then. Let's say they're 5 alive and you're 5 alive. What do you want to do on the map as a macro play?
As a macro play, I would probably go top and set up for a Nash. Slowly, they're in the bottom lane, so they got a long distance toward Nash, and we could probably slowly start rotating. And we got the top lane pushing in as well, with a huge minion wave. So I would probably decide to go towards Nash and get some vision control up. Maybe see if we could bait out a kill or two to put ourselves in a better situation.
I would say you have two options. Like basically, you can go bottom. Going bottom is fine. I don't really like this play because you don't have any damage dealers with you. You might win it or not, but again, there can be 3 people full health. You guys are not 3 people full health. Twitch is closer to you or to the fight, and you guys have an inhibitor TP against you, right? So they can all 5B here while you're going 3 versus 5 again potentially. All you need to do here is honestly just go bottom, push it in, take the inhibitor because you're stronger. While you're 5, you know you're gonna be 5 people. You just take the inhibitor, walk back, set up a Baron because minions bot lane is the best super minions if you're going to set up a Baron.
Yeah.
So you guys go in on the jump. You make a catch, that's fine. You try to kill, it's also fine. You get the kill, but he should never die there, right? And it's something.
No, he has both flash and EQ, so he should have been able to get away.
And then you guys just keep going and catching more people. And then I assume you guys end the game here.
We actually don't
okay.
end it. Yeah, that's what I said. That we got a whole lot of opportunities to actually end the game, or at least abuse our advantage way better than we actually did.
I think you guys should have been able to end. If you can't end, it's not going to be the end of the world. You guys died. That sucked. But you guys are still ahead and everything. The way to play this game now is to setting up Baron. They have to defend bottom. They have to defend mid. If you just set up Baron, you get the Baron, then you end. It should be really easy for you guys. What you want to do is push in one mid wave. It's already pushed. You don't need to be mid at all in that case. And you should just go to the team. Being here is bad. Because imagine, again, you don't see people. Imagine she Qs in this minion, stuns you. Lulu ulti, polymorph, Anivia, stun whatever, right? Like you're in a bad situation. And she even jumps you. She fucks it up by not jumping the minion. So she doesn't get a stun on you.
True.
But a team is basically allowed to follow up and a play where you want to do Baron. You don't want to fight here.
No.
And you bait your entire team away from doing the Baron buff.
Which is a bad thing, really. Because we actually had it. We had the upper hand.
Yeah, exactly. And then you end up being in this fight where you go 4 versus 5 again. Because Ash isn't even nearby, right? You guys are super split. So basically you want to try and play more towards the team and not so much towards other things. And if you're pushing mid, you want to do it from a safe distance. Because your job isn't to fight mid. Your job is only to push it. The second it's pushed, you don't want to be there anymore. Like you basically... You're trying to fight, then you don't need to fight. Alright, so you guys win. And this time I assume we're ending.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, at least.
Alright, at this time you guys are actually in the game. It's good.
We wanted to get the penta kill for fish first before ending the game.
That's fine. That's great. I think we actually had a lot to work on here, so I think this is. I think this is enough for today. But I would say because of the laning phase and all the small things where I think you need to improve on more than the macro, I'd say next time or this week or something we just actually do 1v1s.
Sure.
Because I don't think 1v1s really mean much. In the grand scheme of who's winning the 1v1 and whatever. But I think 1v1s means a lot in how do you play the matchup, right? Like, how are you actually fighting when you're fighting in this matchup? Why are you fighting, how you're fighting, right? And so on. Yeah,
I think that's a good thing. Even though while we're be doing the 1v1, you will be able to tell me, or the other way, that, okay, I'm going to do this. And if I do this, try to do that to counter it, or at least even it out, kind of a thing. Thingy.
Like, I basically think I'm going to write down the things we need to improve on, but I think mainly the macro you seem to understand to some level. You needed to... The waves were okays as well for elo. The main thing you need to do is understand what you're doing. For example, in the mid lane, at the end of the game where you need to understand what your job is. And then you need to follow that job, right? Your job isn't to fight, your job is simply to push. And then you do that. And then you need to understand when you want to fight instead of just fighting for the sake of fighting. Because basically you see opponent and then you go, right? In some cases, like you're turning on and off switch instead of just playing the game at the same pace at all times, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the second you turn the on switch on, you don't look at anything else and you tunnel vision and you just go. But I think mainly it's easier for you to just focus on the 1v1s and then take it from there next time. Because if you get really good at 1v1s, it doesn't matter. Like, the other problems obviously matter, right? You need to improve them as well. And I hope this.
I'm putting a lot of focus. I'm putting a lot of focus into the having a better matchup in my lane than like if you put it up in percentages, I would probably say that I put maybe even 60, maybe 70% into my laning phase, and then only about 10% into my map awareness, and then maybe 20% in controlling the wave, just to put it up in some boxes.
Yeah.
Instead of being able to know my matchup, so that I don't really have to think that much about what do I have to do in this situation. So I might be able to put maybe even 50% or 60% into my map awareness instead. So that I would, if I should put it up myself, I would probably say that's kind of my main issue. I have way too many things to focus on all the time at the same time.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Like, there is many things to be good at, but I'm not perfect at any one of them, or even at least just decent.
Yeah.
So that makes it hard to put a lot of time into just one of these categories. If you can put it like that, if it makes sense.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think basically the laning phase, you get good at it, and then you stomp your opponents in laning phase, and then at that point, everything else will be easier. And once you actually have a solid laning phase, then it's also easier to focus on all the other things, because improving all the other things, if your laning phase is not that good, is going to make it very inconsistent, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for today, basically. I think it's a good session. I don't think there's a point to watch 2 games, because I think there'll be too much to work on. And it will be the same mistakes, basically, we'll be seeing, just with different champions, a lot of it.
The Renekton game is way worse.
It might be way worse, but then I think we're also saving you a little bit in that case. But yeah, I think it was good. I think there's a lot to improve on. I think I think you somewhat know what you need to improve on now, right?
Agree. Yeah. I have an idea, at least.
If you have some laning phases questions, you can just send them as well during the week. Like, if you have questions, I can just answer on Skype. That's no problem.
Sure, I'll do that.
But then I'll head off for now. See you, brother.
Yeah. Take care, bro.
Peace, man.
Hey.
I think it's quite successful, right? There's a lot to improve on. That's for sure. And that's a good